Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome. Ralph Havens here, autoimmuneanswers.com. And I just got a great email from somebody who just made a big decision in her life, and she jumped. She left a secure job that had lots of perks, lots of prestige. She was really good at it, but she had a calling for something else, and she'd been doing it part time and on the side, but it's what really drives her. It's part of a whole picture of her life that she's creating, and it reminded me when we did something in San Diego where we shut down our office. Had four therapists, I think it may be right then, and we shut it down in April of 2011 and moved it to our house and just brought one therapist and one office person with us, and we were changing stuff. And I remember I used to drink wine every Saturday night with my running group, and I hadn't for a while because we'd been doing lots of stuff. But this night they were like 5 blocks from my house at this really cool place, and I thought, I'm going to go drink a glass of wine. And I went there, and it was kind of cold, and probably like for San Diego cold, 60 degrees. I guess that's, what is that? Like 15 degrees centigrade. And I just had a t-shirt on, but I felt so alive. And I was drinking my glass of wine, and my friends were in jobs that they didn't like, and some of them are still in those jobs, and they're having some interesting times with physical conditions, and the universe seems to be has been telling them, hey man, you're doing something not quite in alignment here with what you're really here to do, or something. I don't know, it's their call, but they just felt not quite up. And I felt totally alive. I didn't know what was next. I didn't know where we were going. We were about to do a workshop in Oregon and be gone for 3 weeks and Airbnb our house and build earthen houses and figure out if this is how we were going to live. And then it turned into, we could stay a whole summer in Portland and Oregon and look for where to live. And we sold our cars and we got a truck with a tent and we camped and we started going and doing stuff, and we didn't have any idea where we were going. We just knew we had to change. And then it took us all the way till Halloween of that year, 2011, to roll into Bellingham and realize this was our home. And then a whole bunch of stuff happened. As a lot of you know, lots of stuff that could be called very not good. And but it was part of my transformation and healing and getting to do what I do the way I get to do it now. And so there was one of my teachers who actually told me to take Matrix Energetics, Kim Burnham. She used to tell me, just take it because it's mind-blowing fun. And she told a story of some research. She loved research. And there was the Japanese, I guess, were big into tuna, especially the belly of the tuna for their sushi, but they had to go farther and farther away from Japan to get it because they were fishing out, overfishing their waters around Japan. So they started getting airliners, jumbo jets with big tanks, and they would go get the fish and then put them in these big tanks and then fly them all the way to get fresh sushi for Japan, for sushi restaurants. But the sushi tasted like it was just really old. But these were fish that were alive. It was fresh. And then somebody had the idea to put a couple of sharks in the tank. And so, of course, a couple of tuna didn't make it. But the ones that did, the meat tasted really fresh, really good. And so there's that stress, that keeps us alive, keeps us fighting, keeps us on our toes, keeps us jumping. And when you jump, like the person that I got the email back from today, when you jump, something happens. And it can be really scary, and there can be a lot of uncertainty, but you can feel really alive. And I remember there was a guy that I met with, a friend of mine, and he there was a chance for him to go and do a big training thing, and it would have changed his life, I believe. We talked for probably an hour and a half about it, and at a coffee shop here in Bellingham, and he realized that if he did this, his life could change, and some stuff could really change for him and his wife. And then the light in his eye went like in fear, like, oh my God, this is real. Like, if I actually jump, this is a whole nother way of living. I could actually do this, and it could have this big shift. And then I saw something change, and he backed out of it, and he was just like, no, not right now. I don't know, no, I can't do it. And before that, when he was thinking about it, Jen, my wife, said, man, he would have had the best sex of his life. Him and his spouse, if he would have done that, because it's like he would have been alive. So, not to say one way is right or one way is wrong, but I got really excited today when I got this email just now from somebody who jumped. And, when one of my coaches was in a real dire straits a long time ago, and needed money. And he had some money that was coming in from a loan, but it was going to take a while, and he didn't know how he was going to support him and his wife. And he called his dad and asking him for a loan, just like, float me for a few months, man. I'll do it. And his dad thought for a long time and was sitting there. And he said, no. He said, no. Because you haven't exhausted all the resources that you don't even know you have yet. And that guy went on to create an amazing life with lots of money and lots of impact and doing really cool things in the world. So, there's no guarantees in life, but it's kind of cool when you see somebody jump and go for it. There's something cool about being around somebody that really goes for it big. And of course, there's different levels of being safe and doing the right thing, and you don't want to just jump willy-nilly, right? But it's kind of cool when somebody does. So that's my thoughts for today. I hope they are useful for you, and I will see you all later.